all know how it goes. We do love you, Leeds.
We do indeed. We
Hello,
do.
everyone. Welcome back to Imagine Not Being Leeds for your Leeds versus West Bromwich Albion preview. I am delighted to be joined by Callum from LEFC Passion and my good friend Paul from Wales. How you doing, boys?
Very good, thank you. Very good, man.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Just
brilliant. Technical issues. Sorry we're late. Paul's having some serious issues with his equipment, and there's no pun intended there.
Has to be perfect.
Sure, his equipment's actually fine, isn't it, Paul?
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, let's get into it. So, half-12 Saturday. Callum,
Early.
you will actually be joining us. You'll actually be joining us at the game. Really looking forward to meeting you, pal. And yes, West Brom, top six side in fifth. Let's be fair, probably a standard championship side at best. Really, all I can sort of vote for me. I don't want to put no disrespect on the name, but it's a very championship side. They've got some very capable players. We voiced noted each other earlier, didn't we, Callum? They've got some, you John Swifts and and Kyle Bartley's what we know all about. But I do think, even with a good manager and Tony Mowbray, it should be a game that Leeds should tick off with ease. Am I being disrespectful there? How do you feel, Callum, before we jump into Paul?
No, I wouldn't at all. Of course, having the championship players, they have the experience, and therefore, I think the grind, because obviously we know the championship is a daring season where it can chew you up and spit you out as a young player. And I think having them years, because obviously a lot of that defence, I think obviously Connor Townsend, I knew they had for a while left. Pretty much that defence has been together for a while. It's not disrespecting at all, where we are at the minute in top. We've got no complaints. I think with the past two games, as hard as they've been, I think we've got the confidence now to beat anyone, that whether it comes to Elland Road or we travel to them. But no, I think it's a game we have to win. We don't want to slip up and allow Sheffield and Burnley back into the frame. And I think winning it, just carry on the confidence with what we've got already.
No, 100%, mate. 100%. Paul, you said you were going to get us a few stats today for West Brom. Have you done that?
Yes, I have.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Jeez.
We'll have to let you take it off then, mate, before we just delve into all this Leeds chat like we normally do. But yeah, I won't mind you reeling off some stats for me, please, because
it's good to know that our home points and their away points are pretty good, to be honest with you.
Good.
So we've won, and this is going by the last 17 games, right? So since we lost to Birmingham, since we lost to Blackburn, yeah. So we've had seven home wins. They've had 6 home wins, so that's pretty close.
Yeah.
But the away wins, we've had 5 away wins. They haven't had any wins in the last 17 games.
Yeah, that's improved. I think the away form, it's really improved. I think it was. I think with the Coventry game, we were all quite worried in the Watford as well. We last season having slipped up both times away. It's always been a Achilles heel, especially for Leeds when we're in a good position. Is can we make the away form as good as the home form? But no, like you've said, the way we've been playing, by the stats, it shows really good. It does.
The points that we've accumulated,
true.
Away, is more than what they've accumulated at home in the last 17 games.
Yeah,
because we've accumulated 21 points.
Yeah,
and for their home games, they've accumulated 20, and they've only accumulated 5 points away.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
So everything is looking very positive.
Of course, it is.
Yeah.
So,
Well, they've got a very, very good coach at this level. Manager. They've got a very good manager, Tony Mowbray. I really rate him. He's been a manager at some big clubs, Sunderland and in Blackburn as well. He's been at some really big clubs in this division. He likes to play a decent brand of football. And the thing is, when you come to playing West Brom, they're always physical. I just think they're so championship. I'm trying not to be too into them. They've got some good players. Like I rate John Swift. I think Alex Mowat's a really good player at this level. Josh Madger, luckily he's out for this game, but obviously they've got Adam Armstrong, who this could be quite a funny when we spoke. Obviously, deadline day, didn't we, Paul, as well? And we were pushing for Adam Armstrong, hopefully. It adds a bit of spice in getting the goal at Wembley that obviously
leaves a bad taste in the Leeds fans.
It does, so I'm pretty sure every ball he gets is
I think he's got a lot more challenge in the back four now, anyway.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
I don't think he's going to get through. He's not getting any opportunities anyway.
I certainly. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a very easy win for Leeds. But you know what I get like on this channel? I get very confident, and I know a lot of people have said it's gonna be tight or maybe a 2-0. I'm. You do
but that's what everybody says on it. They said that when we played Watford, Coventry.
It's all that Leedsy thing, Paul. It's that Leedsy tag. People don't like putting their head above parapet sometimes and just saying, based on what we've seen lately, I think we put 4 or 5 past these, and that's no disrespect because they've got some decent players. But at this level, Leeds United are different gravy, 100% different gravy. I'd like to, before we sort of delve into the nuts and bolts, obviously he's had his press conference today as Daniel Farke. Main talking point was obviously always going to be for Ampadu. Turned out bad news, I'd say. I think they've said 4 to 6 weeks with no surgery, but after 4 to 6 weeks, it could also still require surgery. So it's one of them where it's 50-50% whether he comes back in 4 to 6 weeks or he's out for a season. So for me, I think there'll be games where we can cope without Ampadu, 100%. It's more if we're getting more injuries on top of that, especially in defensive part of that side. How are you feeling in terms of Ampadu potentially being out for a season, lads?
I'll let you go with it, Paul, first.
It just opens up the opportunity for my perfect lineup, to be honest with you. You know, Ampadu's amazing for, do you mean, directing everybody, telling where to go. So we need somebody who can jump in and take over from that. But as for like where I'd like us to start with the lineup, Ampadu isn't really in my first lineup, to be honest with
you. Even if he's fit, he's not in your lineup.
I told you on the last match how I wanted everyone there.
I know, but there might be people watching who don't know.
And then Farke decided, actually, 57 minutes, Paul's right. And what did he do? He did exactly what I said.
How happy were you that he came on an impacted game? You were buzzing, weren't you? You were buzzing.
Yeah, every time. Every time. So, but have you looked at like the lineup that we had for the last match when we drew against them? Because
it was very different, wasn't it?
Yeah, the lineup. I've got the lineup here. So when we played them, the second game of the season, we had the same back five. Had Melier in goal, Firpo and Bogle at fullback, so be a Strauch and Rodon. His midfield partnership, which is perfect for a ball draw away from home earlier in the season, was Grove and Ampadu. So we went there to draw, and we had Willing on the left, which won't be. We had James on the right, which will be, but we had Pino in the 10 and Joseph up top. So it was quite different to what they're going to face in this game. But you've got to remember that we've got to remember about that game, lads. We'd been conceded 3 at home at Portsmouth opening day. We drew that game 3-3, and we just got pumped by Middlesbrough 3-0 as well. It cut midweek. So in the opening 2 games of the season, we conceded 6 goals, which were ridiculous. So he went there to shut up shop because pressure were on early for Farke. You know, drawing 3-3 at Portsmouth, getting beat at home by Middlesbrough, going away to West Brom were a very difficult game. And if we'd have lost that, there were already people talking after the Middlesbrough game that they wanted to shut. You know, he's on a very tight leash, he's Farke. Luckily, since that rough start, he's had no but, you know, a good season so far. The odd double draw, but it's not been too bad. But I remember that first couple of weeks of the season were quite tense. And he went to West Brom and wanted a draw. And as Leeds United fans, we don't want to ever see a side do that. But looking back, it was probably the right decision to stem that bleeding early on. And since then, we've never looked back. But I mean, the team has changed significantly for me from the opening first few weeks of season. When you think Pino in 10, Joseph up top, Aronson in 10 now, Pino up top. It's a different proposition, you know. Nonto won't left. He haven't really cut it. Solomon on left now. The midfield of obviously Gruev and Ampadu. They're going to be facing Tanaka and Rothwell. For me, this Leeds United side they're going to face now is going to be levels above what they faced at the beginning of the season.
Correct.
Yeah.
100%.
I think our defensive midfield is a lot better as well with Tanaka and Rothwell.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm saying that he might stick Gruev in now. I don't know, but
I don't see it.
It needs to be Rothwell and Tanaka.
Yeah, I agree. It's at home, in it, Callum. So when it's at home, we tend to see Rothwell given the game, don't we, over Gruev?
Yeah, because I think he's got that license to go forward because it's different. Because obviously we've got our fans more in terms of obviously number wise we're built, and I think Rothwell he's suited to them home games. I think when we've been driving forward, it gets the crowd excited because we know what he can do when driving forward. We've seen what kind of stuff he can create, and I think it's better. I think Rothwell and Tanaka complement each other. When one goes forward, the other one will stay back, and so they seem to have that good connection. And I think by putting Gurev in, as much as his clearance against Sheffield was good in being on the line, he just always hide. So he likes to drop in that when he is getting pressure in the midfield, he'll drop into that back three, and it just allows space then to open up for the opposition. And we don't like that. And I think with having Tanaka and Rothwell, they both have got that football brain, especially Tanaka. Now he's good going forward or staying back. Either way, he's good, and it's nice to have that.
Yeah, no, I agree. You want to touch on that, Paul?
Yeah. I think we're in a much better opportunity now.
There we are.
I think we're going to go there. We're going to attack, and I think it's not going to be exactly like the Cardiff match, but I think it's going to be close. I think we're going to dominate most of it.
I agree, Paul. I agree.
They're going to have their chances, and I don't know how Melia is going to be now after the last game. He'll probably get 15, 20 minutes of nerves again. Because it's just in his head now, and it's come back again. He's on form. Yeah, he's on form for a good few matches now, and he's got some good saves.
But
he's a confidence keeper.
He ended the game well, though, didn't he, lads? He ended the game well. The lads won. He didn't come off looking like he had any anxiety or stress or nerves after it. I think that's one he gets away with because the lads pulled him out of the mire there. I don't think he takes it into this game, I won't lie. And I do think out of all the big mistakes Melia has made, that was probably the one I can forgive him for the most, just because he's expecting, I mean, obviously we was touching on it already in the previous video, but he's expecting the goal to go in from the header. I don't think he could have legislated for it, him hitting the post, it coming straight back along. So as bad as it looked slowed down, I don't think he's going to beat himself up too much for that because he didn't drop any points. I mean, that's the first one we
couldn't do.
Could have, yeah. So I think he'll be all right. Just want to get this point up that Michael got said. This is a great point. So I've seen this, Michael. I have, Tony Mowbray has stated that they will blitz us with a full-on attack and have a go. Go to Leeds lately. Max tactics video says he's a great lad. Is Max really in-depth stuff, a bit like Lockie. But this is what Tony Mowbray side do. Notoriously, West Brom under Corberan have been a side that sit back. I mean, look at this here from earlier in the season. Right, let me just get this up. Let me share this screen. It's actually mental when you look at what this isn't a true reflection of what they're like now under Mowbray. Fair enough, but when you look back to the notorious West Brom, what we normally see, right? I was looking at these earlier, and I was like, wow. We thought Sunderland drew a lot of games this season, but this isn't a true reflection on the manager now. But I mean, look at that for a run of draws there, right? You've got a run there from Millwall there to Sheffield United. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, an 11-game unbeaten run with only 1 win and 10 draws. That's what they were like all season, and that's why. And Corberan moved, we like Corberan at Leeds United. We do. We've got that.
We've got that bit of a loyalty and bit of the bit of hate.
We like him because of Bielsa. We like him because of Bielsa as well. But he got his move, but it were very defensive minded. What were Corberan, and I think for all the good he is as a manager and tactician, he definitely held him back. What you're going to get over Tony Mowbray side, which is great for Leeds United, is he has a go. He always has done. Tony Mowbray for an older manager, he's certainly not a dinosaur in this sport. Where some managers who've been around the block are quite boring and predictable and don't adapt. He evolves, he adapts with times. He's a really good championship manager, Tony Mowbray, and he will come to Leeds United with his boys and they'll attack. And what do we want to see from a side coming to Elland Road? We want to see him do that. Because if they do that,
we've seen what happens. Seen what happens.
This is what happens. Leeds United will dominate sides but play like that. They will take us chances, and we've seen as latest games. Cardiff came, like I said, I don't think it'll be a 7-0, but Cardiff come to Elland Road and tried to play football, and we cut through them like a knife through butter. Yeah. So we know what it's like when they come and they sit back. It can be very hard, Elland Road, to break a low block down. What I'm saying, Callum, is this ain't going to be one of that. These will have a go. We'll play into our hands, won't it, pal?
No, we've seen it before this season, and I think Leeds have improved against low block teams from last season.
We have.
And I think that's down to the quality that we have. And I think that's down to just the attacking threat we have, whether it's starting 11 or off the bench. No, I don't like Paul. I don't think it'll be a 7-0 thriller. because I think Marbury's a bit more experienced.
Yeah, he is.
Honestly, they're a bit more. The players are a bit more. They know what they're doing more, so they know where to cut Leeds down. But at the same time, I think Leeds' quality could overshine that. I don't see it being a 7-0 thriller, but I definitely see us being on the winning side with a couple of goals behind us.
It's going to be entertaining no matter what.
Yeah, it will, and I think that's a good thing, because I think over the past 2 days, 2 games, I think we've been used to that. I don't think it'll be quite as that. Be very shocked if it was, but I think if it did go back to the original 2-0, I think it will quiet the crowd down a bit. You know, the thrill that we've had in the past 2 games, it's been one of the best weeks of my life as a Leeds fan, and I didn't expect it at all. Any of us we didn't, but I don't think it'll be that game, because I think Leeds will just have the quality, no matter, even if they are in the playoffs. But I think, to be fair, to win the playoffs from 13th and above, all you need is a good run and you're in there. It's mental about how close it is.
It's mad when you look at West Brom, lad, because they've been in playoff scene like all season, but they haven't kicked on. The form's been so patchy, like
Up and down.
patchy. Yeah, I mean they've sort of cemented themselves in that playoff position all season. Haven't really dropped out of it, but they haven't put any good runs together really, other than like a succession of draws, which ain't really good form. I can see someone getting into playoffs later on, maybe a Coventry or maybe a Sheffield Wednesday. I haven't looked at the table recently, but someone like that on good form, and I don't think West Brom will make it through playoffs at all. You know, I think they'll just slip out of there just with a bit of a whimper. I don't see, even the only thing they've got going for them for me really is a couple of really good Championship level players, but a really good manager. But I just think they're one of those sides now that have, you know, they've missed out on the parachute payment years, and now they're just falling into that mediocre level where at best you can hope for sneaking into playoffs. So I don't really see. We've had our big games, haven't we, recently? You know, I mean, this looks a big game on paper. You know, we played what, 4th, 2nd, and now 5th. It looks crazy on paper. You know, when you try to get promoted, it's a really difficult run. But this is the easiest of the 3. Away from home at the Hawthorns, it's always a different game. But at Elland Road with the boys, I mean, do you see any other changes for Leeds, Paul, outside the obvious, obviously with Ampadu being out and it being Rafael or whoever? Do you see him potentially changing any of the wingers for this one to freshen it up, or do you think it's just same as?
He's not going to drop Dan James. That's a cert.
Not drop.
No, you're okay. Yeah, to start, you mean, on it? I think he'll still start the normal James and Solomon. Yeah, 100%. He might bring. It depends how the game's going. If we've got about 2-3 goals under our belt, he'd probably bring on Nonto Ramzani, give him a bit of game time.
I think Rob's right there. If they go to toe with us, I feel sorry for them, because I think James can get 5. I think Dan James profits the most out of everyone in our side when the opposition comes to play, because his pace, obviously, it's just like he's probably the one that suffers the most when we play against a low block, because he can't get in behind. But when we play against someone who gives it a little, who actually has a go, and they don't even have to play all that attack, they just have a go, even playing a bit of a mid block rather than they actually at least attempt to play football. Dan James, you just see the best of him, don't you? And he has adapted to play low blocks. He's looked good in most games, and even the game against Sheffield United on Monday, he weren't in the game for 75 minutes, and he still comes up with 2 assists because he never stops. He'll always, all he needs is half a chance to either take a shot or get that ball in. And I mean, just a bit random here, but who's your favourite player at minute at Leeds United? Mine's Dan James, and I love Sam Byram, but currently now Dan James is the guy for me. He's my favourite player to watch, boys.
Bogle and Rothwell.
I knew you were going to say Rothwell.
I can't not, no, can I? I'd be sticking up
no,
for
you can't.
But Bogle's always been my top, like, do you know what I mean?
Bogle's class.
Like, even when he was going through that stage when he's underrated, obviously his potential show him more now. But yeah, I think he's just fantastic, like.
How about you, Callum?
I think Rodon. He's just gone up another level this year. I think
you got so much choice, like, do you know what I mean? The whole team is just amazing.
It's brilliant. You know what? I think I've seen a bit this season. One, he's a leader. He's always demanding the pitch. One, he's got a bit of shit house in him. He does give it to people, whether it's, I know he gave it to the Sheffield fans. He went in the other way celebrating and gave him fingers, which is brilliant. No, I think Rodon. I think one thing's improved since last season is his passing. It's really good.
He started season off really shaky at first few games, mate, and then he hasn't missed a pass
Yeah.
since, really. He's been on it. He's been really on it.
But I think another thing as well is he cleans up so well. Like
He's so quick for a centre half, isn't he?
He is. He'll just clean up, and he reads the game so well. I think as much as him and Ampadu obviously have that Welsh connection, he's better with Stratton next to him. Them two are really better. Yeah, it's just having that natural player on their preferred side. No, I'm not dissing at all Ampadu because we know what quality it brings. But I think the one thing with Ampadu is, and I think we saw it against Sunderland, is his physicality. He's just not quite there. I mean, Isidore had him for toast. I mean, obviously it's poor defending, but at the end of the day, it's the Championship. It's not the Prem, so you are going to get caught out at times. But no, Rodon for me, he's gone up a different level. And I think what's really good is how much he loves Leeds, how much he wanted to be in it. It was true that he was taking the photos of the next kit even before he signed, and he turned down Ipswich, turned down Southampton. He wanted to be at Leeds. No, he said that he wanted to be here and get us up, and so far he's doing a great job.
We all know, mate. It's you've got to get the club, I think, to kick
the
on.
Heavy badge.
The
heavy badge to wear.
We saw in Premier League, didn't we, that we had, you likes I don't know,
Llorente,
the McKennies and Llorentes and all these who, for me, were just playing because we were in Premier League, and I understand that, and we're probably going to get that again next year. This is where recruitment's massive. They need to not only sign the right players for the right money, but they need to sign the right people too. And I feel like this squad, in terms of feeling like they've got the right people here, it's very reminiscent of that Bielsa squad. There isn't anybody here who I think see with bad intentions. There isn't anybody here who's kicking up a fuss, and there's a lot of people here. Not as many as last year, don't get me wrong, but there's quite a few players here who aren't getting that many minutes at certain times. Your Schmitz, Nonto's being left out at times, Ramazani has, and all these
Still
players.
Loving it, though. Still loving it.
And all these players in their own right could be banging on Daniel Farker's door saying, what the fuck's going on? I'm good enough to be playing out in Europe, or I've been playing for Italy, or I've been scoring against Real Madrid, and that's fair. But none of them are doing that. And they're all fully committed and fully in it, and I absolutely love this side. I'm the same as you, Callum. I'm a bit of a passionate merchant, and I've welled up. It's been 6 points. It hasn't been winning an FA Cup or winning Premier League. It's been 3 points for winning a game, and I've been welling up these last two fixtures, these last two results, because the emotion.
I think there's a reason for that, though. There is a reason. There's a reason, though, for that. Is because obviously not disrespect to any of the wins this season. The Cardiff one's memorable. I've never seen, because I'm only young, I've never seen us win a 7-0 win. So it was brilliant to see that. But I think all season, all the games have been done and dusted in the first half. Gilavogi, he's
really, Danny?
Off the pitch. Off the pitch.
Yeah, off the pitch.
Off the pitch, yeah. No, I think it's just the manner in the wins. Last minute. We haven't seen that this season because of how good we've been. We've had games controlled on our side, and it's just them kind of games that I think being in the stadium in the away ends would have been immense. And I'm very jealous. Even if I had a sore back or broke a leg and gone to hospital, it'd have been all worth it. Doing for the right reasons.
I agree. A quick here for you, answer, Paul. I think the opposition teams are unsure of how to set up against Leeds. Great point. And eventually we find a way through, or do you try and attack and get punished on the counter? It is a good point, isn't it? Either way, it feels at the minute, Paul. Either way.
We got so many chess moves to make.
I agree.
So if they come one way and it's not working, Fark will make a sub or two, and it just changes the whole dynamic of the game. Yeah. And he's done it so many times where as soon as he subs one, the whole game changes. We start scoring. And I think that's the massive benefit. We got the depth, and I think the team as well. They're so in sync with each other at the moment. They it's kind of like they can read each other's minds, so they know exactly what the other person's going to do before they do it. Yeah, and they get into the ball before anybody else even realizes. Yeah, and I think that's a massive.
You need that. You need that in a promotion team. Bogle and James, I think they stand out as both know what to do. They both have, when one will go forward, the other one will stay back at overlap. It's good to have that. Yeah. And I think Solomon and Furpot are starting to have that since he's come back into the team, Furpot. Yeah,
I think when you look at that side now, right, you've got, obviously, I think James and Bogle have the best connection of any two players in any position in the league for me. I think they're spot on. I think Furpot and Solomon are just about there as well. They get, you can see there really. Tanaka and Rothwell, they've probably got the most natural connection out of our midfielders we've seen this season. They've played together more than any of our combinations so far, which were a worry early on, but they hit it off from the first game. They looked at it as a pair, and that hadn't changed. Yeah. Aronson and Pinner worked really well. I think when you look at it now, you know us side when everyone's fit. I know Ampadu sort of throws us when it works with there, but I find it very interesting with Ampadu and the midfielders and the defenders, because all season we've been saying, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do they all fit in?
That's a good fit.
But we had that discussion though for about 1 week, and Ampadu was back out. Like we had it, didn't we? Where they all came back in, then Strout were out, and then Strout comes back, and we were like, oh, how's he going to fit him all in? And it's lasted 1 game, and guess what? We've got another fucking injury, and guess what? It's Rothwell or Gruev. That's it now. Partnering Tanaka. There's not really no conversation. We're back to where we were before. Like it'll be Rothwell and Tanaka with Gruev for tighter games. So it's just funny how we always, as fans, you always go, yeah, but when everyone's fit, and as we've been proven again, when do we ever have a fully fit squad? It's crazy, really. It's crazy.
We've had it once this season, I think. I can't quite. It's around November.
It's the odd game, mate. It's the odd game. And someone's out, but yeah, Adam echoes yours. Rodon, big class when we play 3 at the back in the. Is that what you think, Adam? Do you think we will play 3 at the back, or do you think he'd just suit that system?
He experimented, didn't he, in friendlies? He experimented with a few, like the 4-3-3, and I think we all thought, Lyde certainly thought, is this a sign here where in tough games where we might need to do a bit of defending and go a bit through that? But so far we've not seen it, so maybe for the Prem it could be.
I reckon so.
It's different. It's different class. It's different class though. You need that extra defence.
And I think, Michael, you're right in this game as well, particularly. I think Armstrong was the threat against us at Southampton, at Wembley especially. Rodman Strong to stay strong. I do think that's the most physical and agile partnership to deal with Armstrong, better than Ampadu. I think Strauch, the physicality of Strauch, and what you've got to remember with Strauch is you're playing against West Brom, who are notoriously decent in the air. They're good at set pieces, regardless of Corbyn being there or anybody being there. They've
always been a physical team.
We know what Carl Bartley's like. He's good in air. They've got really good physical players. So having Strauch in this game with Rothwell, as you always say, Paul, he's deadly with his set pieces. I mean, you need to offer more than just set pieces to be in the side, don't you? But Rothwell does. But having him on set pieces, we saw even at Sheffield United, the corner from Rothwell were headed on by Strauch before Tanaka finished it off. So that combination, we've seen 2 games in a row now, and against a game in a game where the opposition is aerially quite strong. That connection again, which really looks to be forming 100%. Because how many times have we said this season, we might as well give him a goal kick when we get a corner? Now we're excited for the corner. We're excited for the corner now, though, aren't we? Because we actually feel
first time I've seen it. It's the first time I've seen it
in years, Callum. Years since Gary Monk. When Gary Monk, we had Gary Monk, and we had Liam Cooper and Kyle Bartley. We were a threat. We were a threat. He will be a threat at Elland Road on Saturday with Kyle Bartley. I mean, I don't know how old he is now. I feel like he's been around forever, Kyle Bartley.
33, 34. I'm not quite sure. It's been around. But one good thing, actually, in terms of height, is they are missing Semi Ajayi, which is also a tall player.
Yeah, he is. Is he centre half, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He plays about an arm at centre back.
Yeah, no, that's
Jed Wallace as well missing. Yeah, they've got a few missing.
Madger, Wallace, Ajayi. They're missing. I think 3 or 4 of the actual best 11, which is brilliant for us. Rob Brookie says Rodon reminds me of Ben White. No lie, I can see it. To be fair, I can
a bit.
Luckily, Rodon's ours. Let me just get this one out. So, like usual on my channel, always pushing other folks. Wilco Whites, please check him out. My good friend Sean. Give him a sub. He's been really good, really top guys, doing really well. Keep going, Sean, my friend. Danny Talksport, Bangder. Oh no, sorry. Passion for Leeds, Callum. I just read his name there. Callum, who's on here now, go check him out. He's put a really good video out for the preview for this West Brom. He's a lad after me own heart, mate. He's a really good guy. He touches on mental health a bit like me as well. So go check him out. He's doing really well. So you keep going, Callum, mate.
Thank you.
Danny, here's Danny's channel. Danny Rumsey, go check him out as well. I watched his preview, really good stuff. Unlike me, who waffles on for about 14 hours, Danny's short and sweet, into it, 3, 4, 5 minute little previews, little reviews. Really good content, Danny. Keep it up, my friend. I don't think I've read this one out, have I? No. So, Michael Gotti, I feel with Rothwell in midfield, it's not just his productive play, it's his leadership. Without Ampadu there, this frees up Tanaka to play his game. Gruev, unfortunately, falls short. I mean, Gruev, I really rate Gruev, but I think his last couple of performances have definitely dropped below his standard. And I think with Rothwell raising his standard probably in those same 2 games. He's probably had Rafael's probably had his biggest impact this season in the last couple of sub appearances, if I'm honest. He's been outstanding.
Yeah.
So I think he's definitely pipped Gruev. And I do think you're right with that. I look at Rothwell, I said it in my review of the Sheffield United game, lads. I look at Rothwell a bit like a captain. He leads by example. He grabs the game by the scruff of the neck. I know this is turning into a bit of a Rothwell show, but at the minute it feels like the piece that has to play. Like it all sort of. I mean, the difference in style if we play with Gruev and he's off it could be a massive difference in what it is having Rothwell on it. You know, I do think. Don't get me wrong. We beat Watford 4-0 away only a matter of weeks ago with Gruev starting. So I don't like the whole negative stuff with Gruev, but I would say the last couple of games, Gruev's been under par. Rothwell's been fucking at it. And I do agree with that. I do think he's a leader. And I mentioned him, like I say, in my review of that game, that he has an aura about him now when he runs on pitch and he just seems to carry Leeds United forward. He's really good at getting the ball, driving with it, always picks a forward pass. And I'm starting to fall in love with him as well, Paul. I think I might have to put some posters on the wall. Are they Rothwell posters behind you?
No, but I'm going to get some. I'm going to get a Rothwell calendar, I think.
Oh, he just needs to he needs to do a fireman shoot for you, doesn't he? Just get that on your wall.
Oh, yeah. He's good.
With a sheet next to him.
I
just reckon what we've got more than anybody else as well is we've just got unlimited energy. Like the boys they don't stop and they don't even seem out of breath at the end of the match.
I remember watching a bit of Sheffield United content and they were saying, which I do like to watch a bit of. I like the Square Ball podcast propaganda. I think that's quality.
It is.
No, there were a lot of them were saying that Leeds just don't seem to stop, and I think what it is I think with a lot of people when we are passing it around, people think it's boring, but it's not. We're tiring them down, we just keep going. You know, I remember seeing Dan James like 80th plus minute running his arse off at Michael Cooper. Not guaranteed to get the ball, but it just shows they're willing to put that amount of effort in so late in the game to try and win the ball back. I think he's one of them who does put his heart on his sleeve, Dan James, and we need that.
100%. I'd say our fitness levels are. Evie say it as well. Like I think Evie said it on Joe's show. It's right up there. You don't want to say with Bielsa with the Bielsa.
Well, it's best it's been. I remember Sam Allardyce in his own podcast that Tippy Tappy Football came out and saying when he came in, it were awful. And I think this is the fittest we've been in since Bielsa. You know, Marsh ran him into the ground and not in the good ways. And I think it's taken him a while.
I think you just got to give him credit, isn't it? What he's doing in training is making a massive difference.
Yeah, 100%. They were doing even triple sessions in summer. I remember someone saying.
You can see it with Leeds. We're just really well drilled, you know.
We are.
He's the best manager in the league for that reason, you know. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he's getting the best out of the boys. And I think as you're watching Leeds, you know, in the 90, I don't feel like we've had many 90-minute performances this season. There's been a lot of times in season where we've looked mint for 15 minutes and 20 minutes, and even these last couple of games, we haven't played well for 90 minutes. The 5 or 6 before that, we didn't, and we were blitzing teams away for that reason. Watford were a 90-minute performance, Cardiff were. These last couple, it's only been in pockets of time, little moments in games, which sometimes is all we need. But
the best moments.
100%, Callum, but I do think with his fitness levels, it's allowing us to, I think, up to 70 minutes, we can be quite even. And then we just start to take, we tend to get stronger as we get closer to the end of the game, where the other teams start to wilt. Because of that passing about, because of that energy, we can reserve at times in a game while still controlling it without exerting needless energy. Like I think under certain managers, sometimes you do a lot of running and stuff you don't actually need to do. Like some Leeds fans want all, you know, blood and thunder for 90 minutes. Sometimes you can't do that. We're really good at holding possession, reserving energy. And then as we get into the final moments of the game, we're scoring after 90 minutes quite a lot this season. We're scoring late goals, which is down to concentration, obviously down to quality, but also down to fitness. And if you're the fittest, it gets you a long way. We saw that with the Bielsa team because that didn't have a lot of quality. But I tell you what, when you've got the fitness levels and you've got this fucking quality, lads, what a combination that is, boys.
It is. I think one thing actually. Go on.
No, you go.
Cheers. I think remember Sheffield. I think with how good they were for 30 minutes, I thought they put everything into that 30-minute performance, which allowed to tie down. I think when Gus Armour came on, for me, I don't rate Gus Armour. I've seen him against us twice, and I don't see what they're seeing him. I think
Yeah.
he's a lazy player. I think
Yeah.
he doesn't trap back much, and I think that's the problem with Sheffield is that they used all the energy within the first half and they had nothing in the second half. But with Leeds, we have that for a full 90 minutes, and that's down to Farke. I think with his fitness, and I think one thing doesn't get said a lot is his man management. Individual, he's brilliant at, and he's done brilliant this season. And I could not give him as much credit as he deserves.
I think it's about belief now as well. I think they're starting to believe that they're champions now.
100%.
They've got that mentality. We're not losing. We're going to win.
That's a great point, Paul. That's a great point, Paul. Yeah, it is.
Really good call.
When you start to believe in it, and like I say, I was saying about Rothwell having an aura about him. All the lads that sort of have that aura now. You can see them when they've won a game. They're coming out. You know, when you see Leeds United filming them coming into changing rooms after the game, coming down tunnel, they're just all smiles. They all the way they carry themselves into the interview, it looks like the side you're going to see lifting that trophy no matter the months. You know, it really does. It'd be so. I know it'd be so Leeds, but you look at Sheffield United even before we kicked the ball against them the other night, and Sunderland, and when you watch Burnley regularly, they don't look like they've got that aura championship winning side. They don't look like they've got it. That don't mean you can't do it by playing that sort of football. But Leeds have everything at the minute, bar the trophy. But for me, we're almost there. I think the points gap we've already got, lads, is massive for a side that's only lost 3 games in 34 games. It's massive.
I got a question for you.
Go on, pal.
So say if we went up to the Premier League now, right, with the team that we've got now, where do you think we'd end up?
Oh, I think we'd be fighting for 17th.
Yeah,
I think
the team we've got now without any signings.
No more signings.
I'm not saying we're going to finish bottom because the 2 sides that come with us would finish bottom, but I do think we'll potentially struggle.
It's hard.
I think 16th. I do around.
You think?
I think it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah,
I think 17. It's hard because it's hard to see how many will adapt. I'm hearing a lot of other fans, opposition fans, saying that they see us as we won't adapt. But I think at the same time, with the belief they've got and the togetherness, I love the celebrations against Sunderland at home when they're running to each other. It is good, and we've not seen that. We haven't seen that in years.
What's really good now as well is, if you've noticed, is all the other, like the fan pages for the other teams, like they're not saying, "No, we're going to bottle it." They actually,
we're getting so many compliments.
They're backing it up, man. Every video I'm watching now, Leeds going to win. They're outstanding. Nobody's even close to them. It's good when you hear it from other teams, because these are teams that hate Leeds, but
it's making the ego a bit more better.
Yeah, but it just shows it from not having like a Leeds perspective. Do you mean? It's what everybody else is seeing as well. That we are going to be champions.
100%. Yeah. Like I say, everyone else is starting to say it now as well. Let me have a look here. Let me see what I've just.
Love that comment. Calling Brom the most fattest player.
I know. Funny. One sec. I love it. I love this. Rob Brookie. Rothwell is a championship
Modric. That is good.
Sean at Wilco Whites. Matty, are you agreeing with me now that Tanaka and Rothwell is our best midfield party? I'll tell you what, mate. I don't think I've ever disagreed with that. I think it is for Leeds United the best, but I will always just caveat that saying, regardless, Ampadu would always play when fit. And do I think Ampadu and Tanaka are a brilliant partnership? To be fair, I do. But I do think Rothwell and Tanaka are the best, and I think they've proved that this season. But like I say, Farke wouldn't pick them if everyone were fit. I mean, this is what you'd love that, Paul, every day a week, wouldn't you, regardless of who's playing. But I do think it's his best. It's the one we've had the most longevity to this season, so it's hard to go against that. Chris has said a good point here. Do we think Grover's come back too soon? I don't, by the way, but do you think he's come back too soon? He must be fit, but he's missed so much of the season. He's miles behind everyone else. All I will say with that, Chris, is it's that memory thing of the last couple of games. You'd be thinking, he's off it. But at Watford, he was one of the best players on pitch. He was outstanding away at Watford. Coventry, outstanding in that. He came back, and for me, Chris, he was brilliant for a few weeks. He's just been off it the last couple. So maybe it's just he's played quite a lot of football. I don't think he's come back too soon, but maybe he's played a bit too much football, and he's got a little bit leggy towards back end of this run of games. But I don't think he's a bad player.
It could be pressure as well, because he's seeing Rothwell playing so well as well. and they're competing for the same spot. You know what I mean? So
yeah, maybe.
And they all want to put
pressure.
I didn't know this either, lads. Chris has also said this Saturday is 5 years since Pablo
what a
scored.
start.
Remember that goal, 17 seconds outside area, great first touch, top corner. Can we do it again? That's my mate Priestley, Chris, is massive on omens, like massive. He probably already knows this stat. You know what Priestley's like, he knows it all, but he will be buzzing if he don't know that already, because he'll be expecting something.
Well, he'd know it more if he watched the bloody Take Me Home documentary.
He would, mate. It's crazy, mate, that he just won't watch it, mate. He just will not watch it.
Why won't you watch it?
Because it ends so badly. I said, yeah, but what about second season?
That's what I said. The second season is brilliant. You see him all at the window. You see, I think it's Jamie Shackleton on FaceTime to his mum screaming his head off. It's brilliant.
Hey, the key is just watch it all in one day.
Yeah.
That's right, mate.
It's a really good documentary.
Yeah, Digler says here, I'm thinking that this team and manager would have stayed up compared to the Marsh team. Yeah, I actually think this side would beat the Premier League relegated Leeds side, even with your Mark Rockers and all them, whoever. I think this side would be that side.
Such a depressing time then, in terms of
that last year were awful.
No, you could just tell none of them cared. The ones that came in, I mean, McKennie, none of them cared. And as a Leeds fan, I think that's disheartening. You know, you're given the opportunity that many other Leeds fans would do anything, just even play a minute on that pitch, and to see how much they didn't put the effort in, it was awful. And I think I'm glad. I'm really, like you said earlier in the stream, I'm really hoping when we do go up that it's not just about. We need the quality, but you need the players who want to be here, not for the money, not for the Prem, but for Leeds. And it's hard to find that.
Well, it is because people will want Callum. People will want us to go out, and obviously you have to go out and spend money, and people will want us to go get the, not the fancy names, but you do go. You maybe you look over in Spain, you bring over like Matt.
We did that.
Example, Mark Rockers and people like that, yeah, and there might be all right players, but for me, most of the signings we made that year, regardless of going down, just never looked like they were asked for playing for us. I know Tyler Adams were okay for a little bit, but I really were fucked off that year. And that were another year, out of a long list of years where I didn't like being a Leeds fan. It pissed me off. I had players playing for my club who didn't want to, who weren't asked for shirt, and that's been a bit of an outlier that year, because either side we had Di Bielsa, even under Gary Monk we had players who were vying for shirt. Even before that we've had poorer quality of players that have put more of a shift in than some of these big names from Europe. So that's my worry going into next year. Easy says here, always makes good points. Says, hope you're well, mate. I don't see a struggle in the Premier League. We'll invest heavily, and I think we'll get a new manager. I'm not having a go at Farker, because some players will be replaced too. I mean, you've always said, Easy, that you think we need someone better.
I disagree.
Than Farker going into the Prem. I think players-wise, we will invest heavily. I think the money-wise, it'll add up to it quite a lot. If I'm honest, lads, I think money-wise we'll spend over 100 million. I think the fact that we need a 9 and a 10, that's going to cost you, because those two positions especially are going to be expensive. Plus, we are going to have to bring in 6 or 7 for me, maybe 5 or 6. So I think we'll spend well. Not that you need to spend loads of money to bring in well with Sim Tanaka. You don't have to, but Farker will get a crack at it. But I always say with Easy, he makes a good point. Like, none of us can definitely say with Farker he will still have a job come the end of the season in the Prem.
No.
That's where when I look at it like that, I go, well, maybe Easy's got a point, because if there's a manager available now who you think will get it to end of the year, do you do it now? I don't, by the way. I love Farker. If I saw him upstairs with our lass, I took him in. I would. I love Farker. But genuinely, I understand people's concerns with him, because if you don't fully think he'll get through a year, why go with him at all?
I think to counterpoint that,
go on, lad.
In terms of Farker, I've heard it a lot. But Farker adapting to Prem. I think the main issue is, at Norwich, he didn't get backed. Both times he went up, he did not get backed. And obviously, managers are judged on results. As anyone at work is, you're judged on results, targets. And he got them relegated. But at the same time, if you're not going to be backed for the players, we've seen it. We've seen it this season in the Championship with, who was it now in January now? I can't remember who it was. They were doing well, and they went out of the playoffs because they didn't get backed. And it can happen. Yeah, and I think it will. The 49ers, they have a vision, and they know where they want to get to. Prague was speaking. think the other day, of where he wants Leeds to get to. And I think he will get the money. And obviously, a big thing for Farkas, he gets a massive say in who he wants. We see him as he's not a coach, he's a manager. And I've got full confidence in Fark, but of course, it's all right. Go on, you speak on it.
It's just the thing is, right, he's going to get backed funding wise, right?
Yeah.
So he's going to have the players in. I think he's proven this season more than any other season that he's really good at working tactics. He's really good at looking at other teams and working things around. Yeah. So if he's got the right players, I got no doubt the Farker will be able to do the right tactics to get some results.
Yeah,
I think he deserves at least
a go at it. Of course, he does. I agree, Paul, 100%. I mean, like he says again, easy there. None of us know if Farker will be here next season, which we don't. He was brought in as a championship specialist, not a Prem specialist, and I agree.
That's what he's known for, though.
Oh no, it is. I mean, I agree with. I don't agree with Easy's point when it comes to Farker, but I can see he always puts a good point out there. Whether I agree or not with Easy, he always backs it well. It's one of them where the inter Prem specialist is not, but there's a caveat to that. He's never been given the opportunity, really.
Yeah.
Norwich has a ceiling which is way down here anyway. Even
they don't have much ambition, your team, but they are. But it's going to stop though, that matter, in terms of, I think they are looking at scrapping. What's it called now? They get when they go down. It's gone out of my head.
Parachute payments.
Parachute payments. They are. Yeah. They're thinking of scrapping because it's literally, it's. I won't say it's laundering money, but there's no ambition. I think for as fans like that, it's not exciting.
It's there though, isn't it? Parachute payments for the sides that get relegated to try and keep them in financial stability because they've got Premier League wages on there. You see, that's why they were there to start with, to give them. But it does tend to have a disadvantage for rest of Championship. But Michael Gott says here, if we went up, would you raid any of the marquee players from relegated clubs? I mean, off the top of my head, I'm trying to think of. I mean, I like Delap from Ipswich, but he will go to a top side. I mentioned Ramsdale, and I got slayed the other day. Everyone's like, "You don't want Ramsdale?" So yeah, I don't want Ramsdale. I can't stand him. Off the top of my head, I don't know. There'll be a few decent players there, but
you got any in mind, Paul? Anyone you take
from relegated sides or potentially relegated sides? Just Delap for me. That's the only one that really stands out is Delap.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
know too much of the Premier League.
What about you, Michael?
No.
Have you got any Michael on there? Have you anyone else in chat fancy any of these relegated players? Because it tends to happen a lot, doesn't it? When sides come down and sides pass them on the way up, it does tend to happen that there's a couple available, who may come the other way. Let us know in chat if there's any that stand out outside the lap, because I think he's probably the obvious one, and I think most people would have him.
I wouldn't do it.
Would you not?
I think the reason is because I know it's the hindsight and the second, and it's the flip side of they've been relegated and they might be different in a. What a game that was, by the way! Brilliant game.
Yeah,
quality. The reason is I won't take them is because I don't want us to be going up to come back down, and of course it's easier saying, well, they could be different in a different team, and that is true. It is a fair point. But I'd like us to be a little bit more ambition, push for different other players, more quality, But no, there is talent in there. But I think a lot of it, I think Ipswich especially, aside from I'd say Delap, is that they are prepared for the next season, the Championship. You look at Clark, Schmodix, Philogene, Phillips to an extent, because I don't see him.
Ipswich have got a really good squad next season.
Yeah, they have.
Ipswich have done it the right way for me. They'll do all right then. Chris Gillett says Farker will get us to finish somewhere between 12 and 17. It's quite a broad selection, but yeah, I would say something similar. I don't think it'll be quite 12. I think I've sort of said 15th, and I'd be buzzing with that. But I always caveat that by saying finishing 14th, 15th, 16th, it means we're losing most weeks. But I think finishing higher than that, like Bielsa did at 9th, it sets a false sort of aim and target for you for year after. We all thought, a couple of players will be in Europe, and obviously we overshot that first year. So I think just a mediocre finish next season, not raising expectations too much, would be fine.
No,
I think you build on.
I think the key is as well. So the key is as well not changing too many players, because we're just going to lose that momentum and that
continuity, Paul, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's just going to change everything. It's going to mess everything up. It's going to taint the team. To me, like 3 or 4 changes maybe, but we don't want to go too berserk, like, do you know what I mean?
100%.
Interesting that.
A quick one for Adam in chat here. Adam, let me know in chat what you think. Rich Joe, Everton fan, likes to pop in here from time to time. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Kinnear to Everton. I haven't read much stories. I don't know if you two have on here, but if not, Adam, bang something in chat. Let me know. Is this definitely happening? I've heard murmurs it's happening at the end of the season. And do we think it affects anything having our day-to-day running of Leeds United, that main bloke sort of leaving? I don't. Thing is with this, right? I trust the 49ers in whatever they do. Like if they tear the grass up on Elland Road and put a fucking ice rink there, I'll back them that it's the right decision. I'm so invested in the 49ers mentally and emotionally. It's like they've got my club, they've got my baby, and I don't think all's going to go wrong. We'll have to see. But I think, whatever the plans are in the backroom staff, wicked ego. And let's be fair, is the last piece of that Radrazani era. It would only ever going to be a temporary. He's probably stayed a year longer than I expected, to be honest. He would here to bridge that gap from old owners to new owners and make it a smooth transition. It probably is the right time for him to leave. And let's be fair, he's probably going to leave with best wishes at Leeds fans, with us promoted back to Premier League. And it's probably the best way to go for Kinnear. I don't know what you have you got anything to say on that, guys? Or
I think the 49ers are just business geniuses, so they know exactly what they're doing. Yeah,
100%. Do you think Marcus? Go on, you going right, mate? Go on.
All right, okay, fair enough. I think with Kinnear, he's always been that one, that always quiet guy in terms of we've seen if you've seen on the documentary. He's always been the quiet one next to Arta. He'd be shouting, he started fights. El Canoes at last day, he's not a bad player.
Good player, mate, yeah.
I don't think it shouldn't affect it. I think 49ers will have their own person to bring in. I think it's kind of it's bringing in their own people so that, it's fully their club. Obviously, they've bought the full stake in Leeds. They're looking to upgrade the stadium to 47,000 in the first phase. The second phase, it's 53,000, which will be absolute mental. Yeah. It shouldn't have, I think with Kinnear, like you said, he'll leave on a good high. We've seen at times, he's gone on the Square Ball podcast. He has made some ridiculous comments. I think one time he complained about apparently we didn't sell enough yellow shirts. Well, I don't think that's true. We always sell out in shirts. Another one was when the striker situation when we had Rodrigo and Bamford.
Oh mate, yeah.
And he mentioned about we have two international strikers. Well, Bamford played a half for England against a very shit team. Can't remember the team; it was that bad. And Rodrigo hadn't played for Spain in about 2 or 3 years when he joined Leeds. So
it would a mad statement, that ball.
But maybe it was just ambitious in his head. Maybe it was just a bit of ego, a bit of excitement. But no, good luck to him. Good luck to him at Everton.
No, fair play. Like I say, I'm sure Adam will have listened. Hold on. Have you put out in Adam, lad? Have you listened?
Remember the art of damage to Leeds? I don't see the good just thing.
But I've not asked a question, just seen the reports. But if true, should be on gardening leave very soon. I don't think he's that good at his job. Fair enough, pal. I'll take your word on that one, my mate.
It's the stats, man.
Guys. Yeah, you know me, guys. I like to get through the chat.
That's not bad at all.
The board have got to give Farker at least one season and benefit of the doubt as a reward. That's the word for me there, Michael. Reward. I always say it, and I know there's no sentiment in football, and some people like easy say me, he'll say no, that don't matter. But I do believe these meritocracy. Did I say that right? Get in. I think I did meritocracy. I don't know why I tried to say that just as merit. I don't know why I attempted that, but get in. You've got to allow that in life. I will be very disappointed, even if we get a manager in, right, and he comes and he bosses it, right. I'll still have that. I'll still be a bit pissed off towards 49ers, thinking, I want them to be a bit humane about things and reward people for doing well. And that I've always said before, I'll never be rich because I'd give my last penny away. It's who I am as a person. I couldn't shit on someone that's done so well for me. Could you imagine? Parade a trophy in May, everyone's buzzing, and then you lose your job for kick off the season. No. It wouldn't sit right with me as a person. But time moves on and all that shit.
It looked bad. It looked bad on the 49ers because I think, like you said, he does deserve the chance. And I think as well, obviously none of us are going to have that same sentiment as we do with Bielsa. He won't have the same effect because I think we had such that period for me especially. I never got to saw the good days. Bielsa was the best thing I've seen. So we'll never have that same. And I think he does that. I think he knows deep down that Leeds fans don't have that same connection. But none of us can complain. And if anyone is Farkart, I'd be very, very surprised and shocked
100%.
with what he's done.
And I think as fans as well, if you have a player at your club who forces his way out or acts like he don't want to be, it pisses you off as a fan. So why can't we think that of owners as well? Like, you know, if our owners were pushing people out who shouldn't be pushed out, you should think the same as if a player wanted out of a contract. Do you know what I mean? I don't think it's right, and it wouldn't sit right with me anyway.
Just think as well. I was just going to say, like, obviously Farker's obviously built a really good connection with the players now as well. So,
100%.
you know, changing manager, just going up to a Premier League, a totally harder league then, do you mean? It's going to just disrupt the whole thing.
Of course it is. And it might make some of the players look at the ownership like the fans might do in a bad light, you know what I mean? And not maybe trust who's... Look, your daughter's famous. She's famous.
She's famous.
She's famous. She's famous.
That's quality.
Ian Ward says Byron, Firpo, Bamford, Vober, Harrison and Rasmus will be gone next season. Well, if I'm honest, I don't even think of Harrison and Rasmus as Leeds players, but out of that list, I'm hoping they're working on something for Firpo. I'd love to see him start, and I do think Byron deserves another contract as a squad player.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, for me, do need
Bamford
to
needs
be gone.
Bamford has to go.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Rob Brookie, top lad, mate. You agree? I would keep Firpo and Byron though, mate. I really would. I mean, Firpo, I'd keep him as a rival for that left back spot with a brand new left back. Byron would be third choice at left back and right back for me. I think we need to sign a right back and a left back to challenge Bogle and Firpo, but obviously
It's that reward. It's that reward with Byron. Like you mentioned, reward with Fark. Yeah, he does. I think to be fair for Byron, it's the fit. It's the what's the word? The most times I've seen him consistent amount of games. You know, he's not. I don't want to. What is it? Jinx him and he'll get injured next game. But it's been a while since he stretched that amount of games out.
Yes, it's been his best fitness run since he left Leeds United. And what people say about Sam Byram is brilliant. It's just his injuries. Well, his injuries aren't affecting him right now. So can't we just have him as brilliant and just sign him again? Do you know what I mean? Like I know going up a level, it won't be as brilliant. I get that. But you're asking him to play as third choice left back, third choice right back, fourth, fifth choice centre half if needed. You're asking him to play cup games. You're asking him to fill in, you know, maybe come on for the last 5 minutes to see a game out that you're winning. You're asking him to probably play in a Premier League season that's been packed out with 5 or 6 new signings. You probably asked him to play equivalent of 2 matches with a couple of cup games thrown in there. In terms of minutes, that's all you'd expect him, unless there's a catalogue of injuries like across the board, which it should be a thickened out squad next season. If we're bringing in 6 new players, like a lot of us think we are, we ain't losing 6 players from this side squad this year. Even if Bamford want to go but you're not losing 6. So you still got 3 or 4 more than you have last season. So Byron probably don't even seat bench in Premier League. But what a great option to have just there for the money he'll be on. So I tend to, I don't want to go too far on Byron because I know he's a bit of a fringe player at the minute, but I will always back my boy.
With football, I'm sure he's changed his agent, hasn't he?
He has.
Yeah,
does that signal him moving?
Yeah.
Does that signal him staying?
Well, apparently that agent only deals with abroad, doesn't he? So
right, okay. I mean,
I think it might be going in.
I do expect him to leave. To be fair,
redemption though, he's come on leaps and bounds. He managed at the Prem. You know, I think though, to be fair, as much as Sticky got in the Prem, I think it was really down to the system. I think that it didn't help him, but no, he's obviously it's different levels in the Championship and Prem, so hence why. But no, he's a revelation for Leeds, isn't he? And I think he loves it here. And if he did, and obviously changing agency does mean a lot in terms of leaving. But if he did leave, it'd be very shame. But if he did leave, he'd leave with nothing against him because he's come. If he gets up, he could have jumped ship. He could have gone like the rest of them. He had when we did go down, the amount of abuse he got, and if he left it, he'd leave in the best hands, and I think it would be hated and he'd be remembered as a servant, 100%. A redemption player.
Please stick a like on the video if you're watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to LUFC Passion. Please subscribe to Danny Rumsey. Please subscribe to Wilco White, my friend Sean, Danny. I'll bang them all in chat again. We've got 59 people watching, which is really good numbers for me. So thank you very much. Diggler says, I don't have any sentimentality in wanting Farke in the Prem. I just think he's capable. Well, that's even better, buddy. So I've got both. I think he's capable, and I have got the sentimentality, whatever it is. I've got that too. I think Adam, good point here, mate. In terms of Kinnear, if he's going to a Premier League rival, we'll need to cut out the chats, not be privy to so much info between now and the end of the season. Should be let go quickly. Yeah, because technically at the minute he'll still be involved in the chats for players and this next season. Yeah. If he's already had conversation with Everton and it's definitely going.
Think about that. That's a great point.
It's a good point. It is a good point. That yeah, well played. Adam. I like it. Adam always thinks outside box. He's a brilliant guy, Adam. Harrison doing fine at Evan under Moyes, which is but he's turned corner a little bit, mate. I've seen better performances from him.
He's standing out a goal, is he? I know he hasn't scored yet so far this season.
Yeah, no, he's a poor player really for me. He's very, very average.
Shouldn't be anywhere near that team next season. I hope he gives a go.
Easy, lads. We have the best squad in the Championship. We didn't need anybody in January. Yep. Why is it okay to say players won't be good enough for the Premier, but it's something wrong to think the same of Farke? I mean, no, I think the side going up to the Premier League would struggle. I think Farke, as a manager, will struggle, but I think he deserves a crack. I think these lads deserve a crack. I wouldn't want to sign 6 or 7 players and have them all as starters and kick all these out. I think continuity is massive. I just think we'll struggle because the quality is just a massive level above. The gap's massive. We see more seasons of 3 that come up, the 3 that go down. But what I will say is the hardest part about next season is going to be, and bear in mind, mate, I think without making a signing, we'll still be competitive. I ain't even saying we'd go down. My opinion is we'd be struggling and we could go down. But what I will say is that obviously this season in the Prem, if it is the 3 that have gone up that come down, that means we're going to be in the Prem next season where every side's been there a couple of years. There isn't a side every side will have been there come the end of next season will have been there 3 years because the sides that went up for that 1 year have come straight back down. So you're asking Leeds to go up and you're mixing it with sides that have been in the Premier League for numerous years who thickened out the squad. Whereas if an Ipswich finished 17th, you'd look at them and go, second season syndrome, maybe they'll be in bottom 3 because they've all come back down. You're asking, a team it's been stable for a couple of years now. 3 of them teams to come down, obviously 2 that go up weird as well, which ain't guaranteed. You normally get a couple of sides, that could shock you. Who knows? I'm just not too sure. I think we definitely need some players brought in, but I do agree with your point. That we have got some decent players there. And how can I say one thing about Farke, not the players? But I do think as a collective we are going to struggle. But I do hope they keep continuing with the players and that backbone at team remains there. And they do. I think they need to bring some numbers in. They do. But I mean, when you look at it, I think it's obvious when you look at the side. Well, I think Melier needs replacing. I think a new left back. I think a 9 and a 10 potentially. But I do think the wingers, the midfielders, the centre halves, and that is continuity. Then apart from your goalkeeper and your striker, having same centre halves, having same midfielders, having the same wingers, which I think is potentially accurate when you look to next season. I think that's still a decent spine of your side to continue from this season. But
question. Do you know with Melier, right? So we replaced Melier. Would you keep him in the squad or would you sell him?
Melier.
Yeah.
I change my mind all the time, mate. Like I've said all season I don't really want him next season. I would have him as backup.
Like I was thinking, I don't think there's any other teams that will want him after.
That's my
thing.
That's my thing. I don't think. I think Farke likes him, and I aren't too sure how keen anybody's going to be to come and get him. So I'd have him as backup, but I asked if he goes. Like I definitely don't want him playing that. And when I say backup, I say that on the basis that I can't remember last time Leeds had a keeper injured for 12 weeks where backups had to play all season.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, Callum. It just happened when it was sign a keeper and get injured instantly, then you'd have to play a season. But notoriously, your backup don't play. But ideally, he'd move on for a decent fee. But I just keep thinking these mistakes he's been making, Paul, this season.
That's what everybody's concentrated on, yeah.
To stand out that much, it's like you could make a whole highlight reel of his howlers just this one season, which is probably going to put people off. So I'm not too sure he goes.
Yeah, that's the only issue.
So I'm thinking best case if he stays, I'd have him as backup because I'm worried that Farker will have him as a start. If I'm honest, I'm starting
He
to.
should be starting.
No,
he should be starting though.
He shouldn't.
No.
If Melia starts on the first day of the Premier League, I take back everything I've said about Parker. I'm telling you, I know, because that is one big mistake.
Yeah, a lot of people say the same.
But the thing though, the flip side of that, you say that, Paul, is Farke's won to bit because even people don't like it. So it wouldn't surprise you, but yeah, he has got that in terms of he's got that no nonsense about him. He'll drop players. You know, we've seen it with Schmidt. We've seen it with he don't put up with attitude. We've seen it up with Nonto, obviously when he refused to play. Cresswell when his dad went online saying a bunch of stuff. I'm not quite sure what he said, but yeah, he's got that in him. So I think he is one to make because I think now when he's dropped Tanaka in the past, and people liked it, and it turns out it did actually not affect us. But yeah, no, it wouldn't surprise you.
Premiership, you need the biggest squad. We will have a massive churn of players. It's crazy though because I don't think Farker will want a massive squad. Like I think he'll want slightly bigger than what he's got now potentially. But I feel like it reminds me of Bielsa in so many ways. I feel like you've seen with the whole Ampadu, Gruev, Rothwell. Like when we're all saying, how's he going to play? I feel like Farker don't really like making that decision. So obviously, he don't want Ampadu to be injured, but it's also made his selection easier this weekend because I don't think he likes a headache. I actually think he prefers a smaller squad. And somehow this season, he's got a small squad, but where every fucking player is really, really good. So it feels like a really good squad, even though it is really smaller numbers. Hence now, while we're looking at it going, Canelli Strout gets injured. We're talking about De Bayo or Byron playing centre-half or Gillivo. That's how threadbare we are at certain points.
The issue is, though, the only issue is, sorry, Matt, to interrupt. The only issue is having a big squad is it can upset players. You know, we don't want, obviously, we want enough players, you know, for depth. But you can have too many where it can upset the squad. You know, you've got to keep.
He's good at that, though.
He is good at that.
All the manager, he's good at that.
Yeah, he is good. He's very good at that. Yeah.
I mean, you think, mate, Willing on to beginning the last season, we're kicking off about wanting to go play Prem. This season, he's not kicking off and he's sat on fucking bench. When he kicked off last season, he would have started at Leeds. He was playing and he was saying, I aren't playing today. Now he's on bench and he's still not refusing to play. Wild,
he's really good at that. He's really good at that. That individual man management, he's very good at that.
100%. Yeah, Richard, I think Fark can do a job if he's back. Yeah. I agree. It's one of them where it'd be the most satisfying thing, wouldn't it, as a sports fan, a Leeds fan, for him to do really well and just be able to turn around to a lot of people and go, there you go, you know, well fucking done, Farker. Be really, really proud of him just to go and do it. And you know, you don't want to get too attached to people, but like I say, I'm a big fan. I really am. I really like the guy.
I've started to.
Guy. Yeah, he's a really nice guy. Well, what you see, it was the style that we're holding people back from really committing to liking Farker. Getting results is one thing. I were always on that. You know, we get results, we win by a couple of goals. It's all right, as if I don't mind it. But now, the last month or so, I feel like people are. I mean, even Sean Healy, mate, you know, big fan of this channel, good friend of mine now. Even he's done a totally 360 on it, and he's like, well, how can I argue with this now? Like, I'm not only with top of league and getting results, but I'm actually enjoying watching him now. How can I not like him? For me, if you go beyond that, then you've just got an agenda against him, and you don't ever want to go back on your opinion. But you are allowed to. You are allowed to do that. It's football. Things change from week to week, don't it, Paul?
Yeah, exactly. He's doing the job. He's getting us to the Premier League. So, I'm gonna have to go because I get loud upstairs, right? But I'll just leave you one thing, right? Because I did a little points chart, right?
Yeah, mate.
So we got 6 home games left and 6 away games left.
Yep.
So obviously going by our track record at home, just say we win all 6 games.
Yep.
With the away games, then if we win 2, draw 2, and lose 2, we still get 101 points. If we win 3 and lose 3, we still get 102 points. And even if we just win 1, draw 4, and lose 1, we still get 100 points.
So what you're saying, Paul, is we're getting 100 fucking points, aren't we, Paul?
I'm money on it in front of everybody now that we're going to get 100 points plus.
Yeah, I have to agree.
If we win all the games, we get 111. So,
which is
a good record.
I love that.
Are you ending on that, Paul?
I'm going to go, lads. I'm going to go. But yeah, nice talking to you.
Thank you so much for popping on, pal. Please go check Paul. How can they find you on TikTok, mate? What have they got to search on TikTok?
Well, on YouTube is Paul for Leeds.
Yep.
And then on TikTok is Paul Jones 4 laughs 12.
Go have a laugh. His TikTok's hilarious. I'll have to get it banged in chat at some point, mate, so people can go over. But go check his just daily content. It's just hilarious. He's such a good guy, and I'll have you on again, and I'll speak to you tomorrow, like I normally do.
Yeah. No worries, mate.
Have a good day.
One.
Thanks for coming on, Paul. Take it easy, buddy. Thank you, mate. Right, Callum, we'll end this show together. We'll get through the last few chats. So we'll get through what's on now, and then we'll call it a draw. So my mate Mark Sutherland, number 9, centre back for me, and see how we fare up. No point in splashing the cash on silly contracts if we're only up a year. Keep Farker. If we do come back down, we have the best. I tell you what, with that, it's one of them. And if we do struggle, you sack your manager, you bring someone else in, and then you come in. Like, remember when we were in Prem with Bielsa? I was so good with Los Bielsa. I'm like, just keep him. If we go down, we'll come back up. You know, I'm one of them, mate. But I know you're the same as that, Mark. Well, let's get through some more of these. Ian says we will sign 6 to 7 players because we need to replace the guys leaving.
Good point.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's crazy, mate. I say this all the time, Callum, right? I do my previews or reviews or whatever, and you talk a bit about you talk for about 15 minutes about a game, and then
everything else just
take over, and it just takes over. I fucking love it. I love it because for me, people in chat and people, people watching as well. So it's mint. I love not knowing what's going to come up. I love it.
That's a good thing. That's why I like it. It's you don't have to pre-plan everything because not only with what you've got to say, but with the chat as well, they can bring up points, and you kind of go on a tangent on that. Yeah.
Thing is with this, mate. Ability-wise, is class, but fitness-wise, he's never fit. The best ability is availability.
I wouldn't take him. I think I wouldn't take Wilson.
There's a reason he's a free in summer, and that's
why.
Adam said Wilson would be a very good signing. Adam, it's his injury record. He's a class player. He's fucking brilliant. He's just never fit.
We've got one already who's injury prone.
Exactly, buddy. I agree.
I need another one.
I was Fark out towards the end of last season and the beginning of this, but totally Fark in now.
Yeah, he seems to have done that. A lot of people. I think one thing though is done. I know you were saying last month I think he's let him off the leash. And I think that's because he's kind of cemented his place in the top 2, and he seems to have just they're not playing around the back as much anymore.
No, I like him, you know.
He's not bad.
I like him. Whether for Prem as a starter, maybe not, but I do like him. Digler says I'd get a new keeper, keep him as a backup, but if someone wants to pay, I'm same as that, Digler. I'd keep him as backup if I wouldn't want him to go for. I wouldn't want to send him out on loan. Just like if someone's going to come with 10 mil, then fair enough, take him. But
I love Kelleher from Liverpool.
Yeah, well, he'd be the one here, but
the issue is there's a lot of interest and there's a lot of teams in Europe that'll be around him because he's a quality. How he stayed there for being back up to Alisson. Obviously, he's played a bit more. I think this season. I think that's what got his name out there to a lot of people. But it'd be quality if we got him. I think it'd be a statement signing.
Yeah, it would. I think his problem is he's at too big a club really for him at minute.
Yeah, he is.
He's at one of the best teams in the world, and he's a very good Premier League goalkeeper.
Yes.
If he were at anywhere else other than a top 4, he'd play every week.
I think Villa sign him. I think someone like Aston Villa.
Yeah, but they've got bloody Martinez, haven't they, who's one of the best in the world as well.
That
sort of level aside, though.
No, yeah.
Matt, we can't really talk about that Leeds being the Premier League because
enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment.
It is quite mad when you think about it, Michael. Like we are talking literally like we're in Prem already, and there's 12 games to go. But I've never been more confident in my life, like genuinely. I'm that confident, yeah. We've got 12 games to go. This is going to sound wild, but I'm a wild guy, right? 12 games to go. Take 4 at fucking games and bin them. We'll play with 8. We'll still win fucking leagues. We'll play with 8. Let everybody else have 12 games, Michael. We'll play with 8. We'll still.
It's just that confidence we've got. I think it's just that confidence. And I know it is. I understand his point. I do. It is that point of we're not there yet. But I think it's just the past week of the moments I've had against someone in Sheffield of how galvanised the fan base is, of how exciting it is. It isn't. It's not confirmed. It ain't. All it takes is for a bad run, and we're back with them. All it takes is this week for us to get a shot glass, and they're back in it. It's just I don't see it happening. I really don't. With how this squad is, and I think another thing is, good point, Matt.
Yeah, I agree.
I've got that point with the car. I don't see us losing because I think we can win in different ways. It's been a while since. Yeah,
that's the difference in us now, mate. The problem is there's usually a game that you don't expect, like your QPR's away, your Millwall home. There's usually
They're the
a
ones.
game that bites on arse. Like Danny says here, QPR will be the hardest game coming up.
I've said
We
that.
haven't won against them in so long. Like every time we go away to QPR, do we seem to just fucking drop the ball? It's
It's
so
the last.
annoying.
I've got one start. That's all I've got in me. Six. It's been. We've played the last 6-7 times played it. We've not won since. So we've lost it. Yeah, it's been a good few years since we beat QPR.
Yeah, at QPR. Yeah, no.
And he's Welsh. He's a Welshman.
He's Welsh. I'm really bad with accents. I can't do them. But yeah,
that was a terrible impression.
He's Welsh. He's got a cracking TikTok. I mean, I've got a TikTok now, and I do funny, stupid stuff on it.
I need to check it out.
Yeah, I'm daft as a sod on there. Do a bit of singing, do a bit of messing around. Try and make it light-hearted fun. But Paul's got he's like 50 odd thousand followers on there. He's quite big.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's like 54,000.
Oh wow!
But it's just general everyday stuff. Like he did one other day about going into Tesco toilets for a number 2 and toilet seat broke while they were on it and he fell on floor. Just his general.
I want to watch that. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
It's just a funny
I'll
guy.
check it out.
I'll have to start bagging his link on here so people can get over and support him because he's class.
Sounds good.
Let me see. Kelleher will be 40 plus. Yeah, I could see him being that sort of money, mate. I do. That's why I think it's too expensive for little old Leeds.
Little old Leeds.
Honestly, can't wait for us to get up. I know I'm jumping gun again there, Michael, but
promotion party.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though. I'm definitely one of the fans, Callum. I don't know about you, but I think you'll be the same as me. I'm definitely one of the fans that have enjoyed this season. I even enjoyed all of last season. And even the hard moments of losing at Wembley, I knew it were going to spur us on this season. There hasn't been any moment, really. I think because last season started off, we were so far behind everybody. It sort of tempered expectations last season. It was only when we got towards the end where we clawed it back. And then you get to Wembley and you think, so I understand these moments. But last season, early on, it were like, right, okay, we're well behind. We're not going to do it. We get there, we fumble it. For me, I always say on this channel, I always believe you've got to go through shit to improve and then get your rewards. And I think this season I've definitely been one of the fans who've enjoyed every moment, every game, win, lose or draw. I can see the progression of the boys. I can see from where they were at the start of last season to where they are now, how Farker's adapted, his style. You can see even making early subs now. It sounds daft, but we know it's not something he does. He's tweaking. He's getting better. He's learning with that core group. The signings we've made over the last 2 windows have been brilliant, and you can just see where we were to where we're going. And it's taken 18 months, but I think now Farker ball, or whatever you want to call it, is in full flow. And finally, Farker is getting what he wants from the boys, and it's taken a while. But I also think he's a perfectionist, and what we're seeing now is as close to perfect for Farker ball as what you're probably going to get, and that's reminiscent of why we're so dominant in this division, pal.
Yeah. Good point. It is a good point, very. I think so. Last season, I think we needed to that.
Oh, sorry, Cal. He does, CB. He does.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
he does. He's put it on somewhere. There, passion for Leeds. Go give him a follow, please. Go give him a
cheers,
sub.
Danny.
Really good guy.
I think last season, I've said I did enjoy it. I did. I think it was really good. Somerville was brilliant. I think now we criticise some of them more now than Rutter because we've seen what Fart can do by having a team, not just individuals shining through. And I think, to be fair, as much as we give credit to Fark himself, I think Rutter and Somerville did save a lot of games for us because that's the way we played. We adapted for them to save us. At Wembley, I didn't enjoy. Obviously, I didn't go there. I watched Holiday Park with no sound at all. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. I watched where we went. There was no sound at all, and I was surrounded by Man United fans. So that went well. I cried my eyes out. In all honesty, it was so depressing. My girlfriend was looking at me like I was just mad in the head because she don't get that. She don't get that feeling. Yeah, good point. Actually, Mark Truffers.
A lot of people don't.
It was hard. My mum cried and she's not even sport really anything. Yeah, she has no.
But she saw a boy being upset, so that's why she cried.
It was how bad I was. Because obviously I wanted us to do so well, but you do have to go for adversity. But we all forget Bielsa didn't do it in his first season.
Exactly.
And he came back. I said that we need the second season. I've said it so many times. You need that.
We're stronger, Callum. We're stronger going up after the second season than we would have been last season, I think, going up. And
if we'd have gone up, if we'd have gone up, I think it'd have been sat within the first 10 games. So I think he's learned as much as we give more credit to the Prem, you learn more in the Championship. And I think Farke has adapted so much. I think it's not. We have seen bits of playing around the back. You know, it's boring at times. Of course, it is. You know, as Leeds fans, we've been spoiled with Bielsa. So we're used to seeing. We're used to seeing entertaining football, and I think this season he's let him off the leash more, and he's allowed him to. I think just play. What's the word? Be themselves. I think the word is. You know,
think he's taken 18 months to get to that point, like you say. So if we'd have gone up last season, Callum, he'd have been learning on the job in Prem. He'd have still been learning in the Prem with it.
I would have liked it.
So I think as hard as it is to go through that adversity and go through that loss and have that second season in Prem, sorry, in Championship, we've had a great season. It's enjoyable to watch.
It's been really good. I've enjoyed the season so far.
It sets a better foundation.
And I'm hoping it ends on a good way where I'm in Millennium Square or Elland Road and I'm shouting my ass off and I'm going to lose my voice.
It's good. The only bad thing for everybody when we get promoted is you'll probably see a fat lad 6'2" with his top off. That's probably as bad as it's going to get for you.
I didn't get to see the last one. I didn't get to see the last one. COVID, obviously, a lot of people did go, and to be fair, the police, a lot of fans did tell them to F off because they're not gonna. But I was gonna go to it. I wasn't. I thought, no, I'll be safe. No, I do regret it. I do because I've seen it, but
me too.
If I get to experience it myself, it's one of them moments, and I said it on the last stream. It's one of them moments where you just have to be there. You have to experience what it's fully like. You know, you'll be hugging random people you won't have ever met in your lifetime just because you share that same love and passion for Leeds. That'd be brilliant. 100%. You'll get to meet new people that you've met on the platform.
Exactly. Yeah. Michael I'm not thinking of promotion until after the international break. I get that. I really do. Win a couple of games with I get that. I'm just one of them who'll put my head above parapet a bit earlier and go for it. I look daft. I'm not really asked. But yeah, I totally get that. I mean, until some people won't celebrate or won't even let themselves believe or dream until it's mathematically there.
My dad's like that. My dad's like that. He's the same. He prefers the Championship. He prefers the Championship. He has.
That. I mean, I prefer winning every week, mate. So technically, I'll probably prefer. The problem is if you stay in Championship and you end up being you lose your best players, you slide down division, you end up mid.
You end up being a West Brom.
Yeah, exactly.
You end up being and it's not fun. The money's there.
Yeah. You've got to get up while those parachute, but you've got to get up in those first 2 years, really. 3 years max, and then you start getting diluted of all your assets, don't you?
And I think that's another reason as well is how good the season been. The pressure hasn't got to him because we have to go up this season financially. Of course, if we didn't go up, I think we'd still keep majority of the squad. There'd be a few maybe Tanakas, but it's financially it's not the best. But the one good thing about the 49ers is, as we've seen, is they are very good with money. You know, they could have splashed out 20 million on Archer, but they didn't, and that shows that I think that gives us more confidence in the summer that they will spend more money. But it's just about getting the right players. It's all right spending 100 million, but it could just be wasted. As long as we get the right quality, the right people that believe in Leeds United and want to play there, not just be in the Prem and the money there, then I'm good with that.
I agree. Well, anyways, this was the Premier League preview.
A free preview.
Yeah, you know me. I go where chat goes. If chat want to talk about Premier League, we'll talk about Premier League. But yeah, we spoke about West Brom for quite a bit before we got into that, so it's all good. Before we get off and says goodbyes, we're all going to get off now. But what's your score prediction, Callum, for some Saturday's game? Sorry,
well, we've got to ask Paul, but it'll be fine.
It'll be 8.
Okay, what?
What do you reckon?
2-0.
2-0.
I think it'll be I want to say classic, but especially this season, I think it'll be a classic 2-0. We'll get early goal. Well,
control it for large spells.
Yeah, I'd like to see a very high scoring. I'd love us that thing that Priestley said about the point. Not only the points record we could break, but the goal difference. I think it's 70. He said 69. 69, 70. Good start by him.
Magic number.
It would be good.
Yeah,
2-0.
2-0.
Nice keep a clean sheet. It gives Mellier confidence, which I think he'll need.
Nah, sound well. I'm gonna go. I hate being so fucking positive because I think people think I'm an knobhead. But I'm going 5-0. I think it's going to be an absolute fucking. Honestly, Callum, I just think it's going to be
It's funny you mentioned that 5-0, which we got in the last time. That Pablo Nana's first goal in 17 seconds again.
Yeah, let's see if we can do something similar.
I know.
Yeah, we're going to call it a day at that. But what I will remind everybody is, Late Night Leeds is on tomorrow, 10 o'clock. All being well anyway. I'm off to Caravan, so I need to check my signal when I get there. But it should be fine. Adam's going to be in his hotel in Leeds because he's coming to the game, so I get to meet Adam tomorrow as well. All 5'2" of that lovely man.
Is he only 5'2"?
Mate, I'm shocked as well.
He looks really tall.
Best thing is all right.
That's mental.
He's ended up getting a ticket in West Ham, which is fine. But he wanted to be in thick of it. If he's still in Chatham, he wanted to be in thick of it, like it's house stand at Cop. I thought you wouldn't bloody see, mate. You wouldn't be able to see still up in Cop. Oh, bless him. But yeah, Late Night Leeds tomorrow. So make sure, I know you get your score predictions in now, yeah, but make sure you're back tomorrow on Late Night Leeds and you get your score predictions in with a goal scorer. And then Adam will put you in the table, predicted table with the prize to win Burley Banksy canvas. So come tomorrow. We've also got the poll winner from last week was Lucas Radaby. So we've got a right good section on Lucas Radaby. We've got some little clips, some old photos of him. We're going to talk about Lucas Radaby's time at Leeds United, his stats, and as memories of Lucas Radaby. Plus, there'll be another poll in there to decide next week's winner of that poll who we're going to discuss, as well as obviously touching on the Sheffield United game, looking ahead to the West Brom game as well on there, and getting Sean from Wilco Weiss and Adam's thoughts. It's a great show. Please come back and watch that tomorrow. Really love that show. But yeah, other than that, guys, I think that is it. Please like, please subscribe. Please check out Callum at LUFC Passion. Please check out Danny Rumsey. Please check out Wilco Weiss, my good friend Sean. I don't think I've missed out. I don't think. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Love you all. Thanks for being on, Callum, and I'll see you Saturday.
Very much.
Cheers, guys.
Take care, everyone.
See you later, everybody. Bye-bye.